Good morning, Skidaway. I am so blessed to be here with you today, and that's what God has been showing me in Genesis 27, is just how completely we are covered and blessed. So in Genesis 27, we see Jacob, with the help of Rachel, manipulate a blessing from Isaac that Isaac had intended for Esau. Now, the reason that they sought this blessing above Esau was not an impure one. We know Esau from scripture to be a wild man, one who liked to hunt and go out, one who would marry 2 Hittite women who were cursed by Noah through his son Ham. We know that this cursing is something God has warned them against before, because he's told them not to go into Egypt, who are the descendants of Mizraim, who was the son of Ham. We know that God has a plan and a purpose for this family, that he has recut covenant with Isaac to turn them into a great nation, to give over to them the land of Canaan, and to finally bless all of the other nations of the world through Messiah. It is an amazing, glorious promise. It's one that even the world around them sees and acknowledges and is fearful of their God, is fearful of their God's judgment. And you see it in every interaction that Isaac and Abraham have with Pharaoh and Abimelech. They fear the power of God and of Abraham's power through God. And with all of this happening, we still see Esau sell this spiritual birthright to his brother for a bowl of stew. And so now it is time for the blessing, and tradition says, the world says, that this blessing should go to the oldest son. And Rachel, knowing what God has promised her to raise her youngest son, seeks to manipulate this blessing for that youngest son. And it makes sense. I understand why she did it. It is something I'm afraid to say I might have done in her place, because the covenant was important. And to bless the son who spurned it is a kind of a scary thing, because the rest of the nations were dependent upon the one who carried this mantle of covenant. At least it was in her eyes. So we see Jacob being blessed through this manipulation. Romans 8 says, in fact, that God still worked good to his glory despite Jacob's manipulations. We see God will take our failures and our failings and bless us for his glory. And that is a great comfort to me, especially as someone who works in ministry and missions. That it doesn't matter how bad I botch something. It doesn't matter how badly I perform. God is still going to work for his good and his glory. Knowing that I don't have to be afraid of failing God, it's not something that will hold me back from serving him with everything that I have. And I pray it brings you comfort too, that in your pursuit of God's will and pursuit of living a Christian life, that you don't feel like you have to get it right all of the time. Know that God has a blessing for you no matter how badly you might mess up. And he's made provisions for you too through Christ. Have a good day, Skidaway.